the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, we've got Daniel Jones. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Giants and the Jaguars, and it comes your way next.
The calendar may say autumn. The temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Giants and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Gaunt alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Giants in our ball game here. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his second season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
A man coming off a washout 2021, it's Travis Etienne. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. 14 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight end
looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he is going to lose yardage here. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left.
And he's going to go down again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this is taken at the 23. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take... There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Gano the extra point, and it's now 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. A rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears won that one 46-10. But fear not for the Patriots, if I remember correctly. Well, they've won a few in the years following. On 2nd down, a run with ETN. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. And Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 110 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Giants have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that makes the score 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And the pressure gets to him again. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So that, another sack for the first-round pick on the season. You know, he's shown here, Charles, in the first few months of his career that pass rushing, it might be a specialty of his.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I graded him that way prior to the season. That's not necessarily what they drafted him for at all, but let's face it, they're going to take it, and I think they'll expand upon these talents that they found and keep sending him after the quarterback.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown reception. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And they've had their way running the football, well over 100 yards already as a team, with 2 more quarters still to come. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers. Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. Over the call in the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, that goes for the announcers, too. No AC in this booth, so we've got a mash unit of empty water bottles up here as well. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
172 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic, a lot of fun to watch.
Gano for the extra point.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Now Lawrence.
Finds, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Kayvon Thibodeau picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So 2 sacks for the rookie, definitely making an impact here in year 1.
And in a ton of different ways, because rushing the passer, that was supposed to be a skill that he was developing. Looks to me like he's figured it out already.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville.
Again, it's Barkley. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Barkley inside handoff.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this will be a Giants 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. They find some open field here. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 39 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Gano the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, 40 yards. And the Giants are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And his his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. The Jaguars on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On first down, Lawrence. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Flush to his right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Barkley. Room here to run. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Gano now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the Giants, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.
Whenever I touch down, touch down, touch down.